for stopping by the video. I know y'all were like, I thought you was coming back sooner. I was. And I know the outfit is different, but I got the itch to start cleaning. I'm preparing to go home to visit my family. And then I was like, oh crap, I got to do another video. So this is going to be my recap and review for Real Housewives of Miami. This is episode 2, season 4. So let's get into it. So the episode kicks off where it left off on episode 1 of me, you guys, because this is episode 2. God, I tell y'all, there's so much going on right now, trying to prepare to leave. And it's Marisol, Alexia, and Johnny. They're at Marisol's home, and they're talking about Hermans Lover. So if you didn't watch season 1, in season 2, there was like a rumor that was thrown out on one of the episodes by Joanna. She was so insufferable, y'all. I'm so glad she's not on this season. She might come back for season 5, but she was so annoying. But she threw out there, she was like, allegedly I heard that Herman is gay. And Alexia, she stopped that rumor, she deaded it real quick, and she was like, my man not gay. Okay. But it turns out that your man probably is gay. It seems that Herman might be bisexual, pansexual, or just gay, and Alexia was his beard. But when Alexia and Herman filed for a divorce, unfortunately, he died afterwards due to a heart attack. And at the funeral, his lover showed up. And, Latin culture is the same when it comes to the LGBTQ community. The way that they're treated is the same as the way that they're treated in the Black community. You either get shunned, you get disrespected, people assault you, or you get killed. And it's stupid. It's really stupid because I don't understand why people just can't let people be and let them live their life. But Herman was of a certain age. He was a few years older than Alexia. And if Alexia is 54, Herman was either probably in his 60s or about to hit his 70s when he passed away. And, back in them days, he probably would have got assaulted, beat up, or all types of horrible things. So I think he finally probably got to an age where he was just like, I'm gonna live my life. But like I said, unfortunately, he passed away. So Johnny bumped into Herman's Lover, and the guy basically was like, if Alexia ever wants to talk, tell her to hit me up. And he gave his number to Johnny. So Johnny texted in episode 1, and we got a response. And the guy basically said, unfortunately, I'm out for vacation, but when I get back, I would be happy to meet with her. And I was with Marisol when Marisol basically was like, well, if you're going to meet with him, you need to meet with him before the wedding. And I'm like, yeah, because there's no need for you to have this conversation about Herman's Lover now when it seems like it's been more than 5 years. Like, you've been with Todd for 5 years. So there's really no need for her to really have this conversation other than, father, it's reality TV. They need something to talk about. But also, she even said that she probably would have got back with Herman, or they would have got back together if he wouldn't have passed away, because he didn't want to sign the divorce papers. I guess he wanted to work it out. The guy, based off the pictures, we didn't get to see his face, but physique wise, I really do think that is Herman's Lover, because, excuse me, guys, Alexia is the Cuban Barbie, and this guy definitely gives you the Cuban Ken. So yeah, I'm hoping the conversation goes well, but I'm interested to see how long they was together. Was it just that year when Alexia and Herman died? Not when they died. When Herman, when they got a divorce and then he passed away, or was Herman messing around with this guy while he was married to Alexia? So then we get into Larsa. I am trying to be fair when I speak about her, because I want to give everybody a clean slate, but she aggravates me. So basically, Larsa, it's about the conversation with her OnlyFans. I didn't say it in the last review, but the women kind of have an issue. Honestly, it's the older women, i.e. Marisol and Alexia. They're 54. The oldest person on the cast is Adriana, who is 56. But Adriana is a free spirit, and she always she down to do whatever, shake her titties, be naked. So I don't think she would have an issue with OnlyFans. But Larsa did say she makes $10,000 a day off of OnlyFans. So in a month, That's probably, let's see, let's do the math, y'all. 10,000 times, we'll say this month has 31 days in it. So that's 331. I hate these words. $310,000. So that's a lot of money. And if you add that up, she makes a good living. Like that's a pretty decent living. If OnlyFans is just her only income. Nicole was trying to help her out on last episode by saying OnlyFans is way more. But OnlyFans, the bad thing is OnlyFans is only known for its salacious, like, you know, the porn. Like, we just gonna call it this. OnlyFans is only known for that. And I remember they were talking about getting rid of it, and everyone was like, y'all would be stupid because no one goes to OnlyFans really to watch people. Because the thing is like Nicole was saying, people do OnlyFans. You can do OnlyFans for like workout. People can pay like $5 to watch you do a workout video. You can do dance lessons. You can do a lot of things on OnlyFans. Some people who actually have YouTube channels that have like millions of subscribers or even like less than that, they do OnlyFans as instead of doing like Patreon as a way to talk and communicate and give super fans of their content more access to it. So it's not just the sexual stuff, but that is what OnlyFans' biggest hitters are. And I remember OnlyFans was trying to get rid of that, and everyone was like they were stupid, and I was one of them who was like, that's dumb. Because you see, and like people were saying, you see what happened to Tumblr. And Tumblr was out when I was like in high school and in middle school. And I remember when I got older and was like, and started going to college, they got rid of that stuff. And I remember people just stopped using it. So, I mean, they were smart not to get rid of it. But I understand OnlyFans has been trying to rebrand itself as like a family type of corporation so they can get more advertisements. But my thing is like, y'all been letting people, you know, show their assets since the beginning. So I'm kind of like, now that you have garnered so much money, you can't do that, because they end up showing how much like Black China and Tiger make. And like Black China, supposedly they say estimates $2 million a month. Tiger's supposed to get $8 million a month. And then they were like, Ray J gets zero because he just joined. But my thing is like, if people are making millions, I don't understand why you would try to get rid of that. Because that they take a percentage of what you make on OnlyFans. So I know they wouldn't want to get rid of that. So she talking about that. My only thing with Larsa is on this whole journey about like distancing herself from like Scottie Pippen and Kim Kardashian. But that is what Larsa's brand is. And when Larsa was like, I didn't know if OnlyFans was going to hurt my brand. And I'm like, you don't really have a brand, Larsa. Like, all you known for is either being this this NBA athlete's wife, or you are Kim Kardashian's best friend. Like, other than that, you don't have a brand, Larsa. If you really wanted to like rebrand and like care about your brand, you would drop the Scottie Pippen last name and take your maiden name back and work from the scratch and work on that. Because at the end of the day, your brand is associated with hold'em. Like, we just gonna have to call a spade, y'all. Larsa's brand is associated with her, like, cheating on her husband with Future, allegedly. When that was all the blogs could talk about how she was running around town with Future and cheating on Scottie, allegedly. And then you allegedly being with this athlete who is like the age of one of your kids, like around like in his 20s, and the man was married, and you got blasted by his wife. So we don't like, so allegedly we don't know if they were really together, but y'all, for legal purposes, I'm saying allegedly they was together. Like, there were pictures allegedly of like, and they were on the blogs where you could see them walking in an airport holding hands. And then there was also a picture of them like snuggling up together. And he got blasted by his wife. The guy's wife came out, and Larsa and her were going back and forth because Larsa was trying to act like it wasn't that deep. But then the guy made Larsa look stupid because he like made a public apology to his wife for embarrassing her in front of the public. So it made Larsa look like a liar. So honestly, I feel like if Larsa really wanted to like rebrand herself and distance herself away from Kim K and from Scotty, then she would really like rebrand herself. She would come on the show and she would give us something all new. Because her over here doing OnlyFans and them showing clips of her OnlyFans, it still is associated with her being a thought pocket. Because we got her half nude in pictures, her sending feet videos, which technically there's nothing wrong with it. But if you want to distance yourself from that image, then you would do other things, if that makes sense, y'all. Then we see Lenny and Lisa. It is his 55th birthday. This whole interaction was cringeworthy. Larsa was on a date with some guy. She said it was a friend, but the way she was acting at the table, she was doing what all us women do, where we do that whole like fake laugh and the joke ain't funny. The man's joke ain't funny, but you just trying to act like it's funny so you don't hurt his feelings. But their whole interaction is cringe. And Lisa, you know you my girl, and I like you. You wanna like right now you my fave right now in this bunch. But sis, it's cringe. It looks like y'all are really like, I don't know. I'm hoping. It's just cringeworthy. The love that I saw between them during season 2 felt way more real than what is going on here. And I genuinely don't know if doing this show was a good idea, because it just looks like they just going through the motions right now. And then he was kind of like, that's not my age, because she got his birthday wrong. She said he was 56, but he's actually 55. And it just didn't look right. It was just cringy, y'all. It was just cringy. I need Lisa to get that together. Get it together, Lisa. Then we see Gertie and her husband, Russell. We end up finding out, like, Russell is a firefighter. He works 24 hours and then he gets 48 hours off. But their schedules never really link up. But they have 2 kids. One is 13 and one is 8. Gertie and Russell met in high school. You can tell that he's very, like, stoic. Like, he's just a very, like, chill kind of dude. Like, they really are opposites attract. Because Gertie is a lot. Like, in her confessional, she is extra AF. But he just seems kind of chill. But they make a cute couple. Their sons are cute. But they met in high school. I thought the story of how they got together was cute. How, like, she was always saying, hey, Russell. And he wouldn't say anything. And I don't know if he was just nervous or just uncomfortable. But one day she stopped him and she was like, when people say hi to you, you are supposed to say hi back. So, hey, Russell. And then I guess he was like, hey, you know. And then the next day she saw him. She said hey to him and he hugged her. And they started dating. They've been together for, I think, more than 20 plus years. And she got into NYU, but she didn't end up going because she wanted to be with Russell. But then she ended up going to a local college where he was going as well, and then they got married. They make a cute couple. I think it's nice. I actually like her job. I always like the concept of event planning, because I think it takes someone with like such a creative mind to create these luxury and amazing events, and it seems like Gertie knows what she's doing. And I also think it's cool to see him. I mean, some people say they don't like relatable housewives because, you know, you can obtain their wealth. Like, we want obnoxious wealth, and I totally get that. That's why I partly don't like Gina on OC, but also I think Gina is a snake and a follower. But that's not what we're talking about. But I like Gertie, so I'm okay with her having, like, you know, obtainable wealth. I like her. I like her husband. They seem like two. Adriana and Julia, they've been friends for 9 years. Y'all, they inappropriate. If we gonna say this, I didn't give too much detail, but Julia, if you remember, she's the first lesbian housewife. She is married to Martina. Martina is a famous tennis player, and they're at a storage room full of Martina's art. So I guess Martina uses tennis balls to do her art, and some of the stuff looks really cool. I guess because of how powerful like her swings are, because she is a tennis player, she probably can make like cool patterns and stuff. So Adriana, I don't know, I think it's Adriana. Y'all know I'm horrible with names. I'm gonna get it together. My bad. She is, we know she's an art dealer. She's been an art dealer since season 1, and she wants to do a hosting of all of Martina's like art and stuff, which I think is cool because that's a cool concept. But her interaction with Julia is inappropriate. Like, they flirt too hard. They over here speaking French to each other. Julia over here calling Adriana her little Snow White. And I'm like, you are married, ma'am. And you know she freshly divorced. She probably down for whatever. Over here talking about we have some je ne sais quoi. Girl, you over here being je ne sais cheating. You need to chill out before you lose your wife, Julia. Chill out. But we end up finding out information about Julia. Julia immigrated from the USSR, which we now know is Russia. She did her first pageant in America because she got crowned Miss USSR. The sad thing is she didn't know a lick of English, and she came to America, and you can go on her, I guess you can find the clip of her being like a deer caught in headlights because she didn't understand the question that she was being asked. Like, you know how they ask pageants, like, what would you do to, like, what would create world peace or something? But she didn't know English, so she didn't win because she didn't understand the question. But she ended up meeting Martina at the French Open in 2000, and I think in 2000, things didn't kick off. They had a brief talk, but like it never transpired into anything. But Julia was interested in Martina. Then in 2008, they met again during the French Open again, and they ended up going to breakfast, and then they kept going to breakfast, and then next thing you know, they were a couple. Julia does have 2 girls from a previous relationship, and she says she never thought she was, like, you know, gay, but when she had her other kids, she was never interested in getting married or having kids. Not getting married, like, no, she was cool with having kids, but she was never interested in getting married. Then she met Martina, they fell in love, and they got married. She was happy to move from Paris to Miami because she basically was like, over there it's still kind of tight when it comes to people a part of the LGBT, I think it's QIA community, expressing their love for one another. And in Miami, everybody's free. So she was like, this is my home because I'm able to be who I am. So that's good for them. I feel uncomfortable when they flirt, y'all. She is married. She is married, and I don't like it. Yo, cheating heifer. I'm watching you, Julia and Adriana, because you know Adriana be out here. Adriana be out here flirting with everybody, and she be inappropriate. Even though I don't like Johanna, because she was insufferable in season 2, she was flirting with Johanna's fiance at the time with her fast self. She was flirting with the men that she ain't even know at the bar where she got a boyfriend. Adriana just be out here. She be out here. She need to keep that energy to herself. Keep that sexual energy to yourself. Over here talking about we got a je ne sais quoi. You got je ne sais cheating. I'm watching you too late. So Alexia and Todd are going to dinner. You know, they kicking it. They're cute or whatever. They talk more about Peter versus Todd. So we got a little more backstory. So Peter is 29 and Todd is a real estate agent. And Peter has his real estate license. He went to go work for Peter. Peter went to go work for Todd. Things didn't work out. And ever since then, things have gone south. We end up seeing Gertie, Marisol, and Alexia go to the Spanish monastery. And this is where, like, because Gertie is Alexia's wedding planner, they're trying to, like, you know, look at venues. Gertie brings up talking about, you didn't finish my questionnaire. And I was like, questionnaire? So then they go back to Gertie in the confessional, and she's just sounding, I bet you that questionnaire is like 60 to like 90 questions, but they seem like valid questions because Gertie was like, I need to know, what religion are you? Are you Jewish? Are you Christian? Are you Muslim? You know, what kind of color scheme are we doing? How many people are in the bridal party? Are you into this? Are you into that? And I'm like, I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot. But because they did the time lapse and it had been 20 minutes when she was going over all the questions. But I mean, for her to do her job correctly and efficiently, this questionnaire is probably important. But they basically said hell no to the estate because the area in which they were going to do the dancing was surrounded by all these like statues of, I think, of Jesus or his disciples. And Alexia was like, girl, I grew up in Catholic school. That is so disrespectful. She was like, no, no, no. No, no, no. And even Marisol was like, ooh, girl, no. So they're going to try other venues. Then we hop over to Nicole. We get a little bit more backstory about Nicole. Nicole is 36. She's an anesthesiologist. So she's our Dr. Nicole of this episode. She is with Anthony, who is like her partner. They have a 2-year-old son. He is adorable. That little boy is adorable. And I think Anthony got Peter Pan syndrome because she was like, he's always surprising her with things. So Anthony and Nicole met in Las Vegas. At first, she didn't like him, but then they got to know each other. He's an attorney and she likes him. They have a baby. They've been together for 5 years. And honestly, it seemed like Anthony don't want to get married, or is he stable? Because I don't know if it was this episode or if it was the first episode, but he wants to move again. And they've been together for 6 years, and every 6 years, like in each year, they have moved 6 times. So, well, no, that didn't make sense. I'm sorry, y'all. They've been together for 6 years, and each year they have moved. So that means they have moved 6 times. That is too much. And you are talking to someone who's an army kid. I'm an army brat. My family would move every 3 years, and that would bug, like I would get annoyed with that as a kid. But to be like, as an adult, that would piss me off. People don't like moving. Do you know how obnoxious that is to move every year? Like, you think you've gotten settled in a place, and then you want to dip. And the thing is like, he wants to sell their house now because they can get $40 million for it. And I'm like, I get that. And that's a nice price for a home, especially in this market. But to move every year is like, that is stressful. And that doesn't make you feel stable. So I wouldn't want to marry him. She also says that like, he's always up doing new things. Like, he has his pilot's license. He went driving, like, I guess a NASCAR kind of car. So he's always doing things. And I mean, that's cool. Don't get me wrong. But like, I would want stability. And y'all got a 2-year-old together. So then Nicole talks about wanting to have a sushi party and getting rid of like the sake they have. And like they're foodies. They like to eat and stuff. So Nicole brings up the thing. She was like, what do I do when people call me? Like, she was like, when we start having this conversation about us getting married. And he was like, why would we have that? Like, why would the ladies, you have this conversation about us getting married? And she was like, well, I introduce you as my partner. He was like, I introduce you as my wife. And I was like, why? Like, he's weird to me. Their relationship is weird to me. And maybe it's just like, I'm reading too much into it, because I wouldn't, like, if we're not married, don't call me your wife, because then that does not, like, there's certain things that you do as a wife and benefits that you get when you're a wife versus when you're somebody's partner or girlfriend. That is why people who are gay were fighting for the rights to be married, because there are certain things you are eligible to do and are important to do when you are somebody's wife or husband. So I don't get why he is calling her his wife when he introduces her when they're not married, because that makes me feel like he's ashamed, or he doesn't feel the need to. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, don't be calling me your wife and we not together, because I hate when women call men their husbands and y'all aren't husband and wife. Like, no. No. Because it makes me feel like he's calling her his wife because he doesn't want to have that conversation of, why aren't y'all married and y'all been together for 6 years and y'all have a cute little baby together? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? So then we see Peter and Alexia link up, y'all. Peter looked like a beach bum. And honestly, y'all, the way Peter is legitimately Alexia's fault. Like, if you watch season 1, she babied the crap out of him. She was like waking him up, helping him work out, because in season 1, I think he was like 17 or no, he was 17, about to be 18, and he wanted to be a model. So she was over here making diet plans for him. They were giving him like his allowance was like was like $600 a week. They let him drink with them. Like, he had so much freedom, but he was so babied. I remember I didn't like when, yeah, because he agitated me with this, when they went to the modeling agency in season 1, and he basically was like bitching at Alexia because the guy said he needs to lose some weight. And like, he took off his shirt, because at first he was acting like he didn't want to take off his shirt, but they were trying to do like headshots, and he had a little pouch. It wasn't nothing serious. Like, it was really like, if he go to the bathroom and drop a deuce, he gonna be fine. But he was mad at Alexia because Alexia allowed him to eat something he wasn't supposed to eat. And I was like, bro, you're 17. If you want to eat what you want to eat, you can eat what you want to eat. And like Alexia said, if this is something you want to do, then you have to take the initiative to do it. So he's been babied all his life, so he doesn't feel the need to like do things, or he's always pushing blame onto Alexia. So they meet up at some Cuban restaurant. Alexia wants Frankie and Peter to walk her down the aisle because, her father is no longer with her. And then Frankie's like, well, why don't you get your uncle to do it? And she was like, well, I would like you to do it. And we end up finding out that Frankie, he married his girlfriend that he was dating in high school, because the name sounded totally familiar. So I guess they probably had been on again, off again, and finally got married. He then moved to Paris because that's where she was staying. And then he came back to the U.S. and now he's going through a divorce. So I guess he and his feelings about that. But honestly, she probably got tired of him because he really doesn't have like worth ethic or initiative. And that comes from Alexia and them doing everything from him. Like, he became so much worse as the seasons went on because things just were not working out for him the way he thought they were. He ended up punching a homeless man and got arrested for it. And then he was also depressed about, the accident that happened to his little brother. And he just went down a downward spiral. He looked better now, but he don't look the best. Cause he was looking rough. He was looking rough in season 2. I was like, ooh. And I'm like, did y'all ever think to take the boy to therapy? Probably need to go to therapy. Cause Peter was looking rough. But he doesn't, like I said, Peter doesn't like Todd, and he feels like he doesn't have to be a part of the wedding, which he doesn't. The man almost 30, but it would be nice for him to be there for his mom. And maybe he's feeling bitter about, him getting a divorce, and he probably doesn't believe in love or something like that. But he was really like, that's your wedding, do what you do. And then Alexia was like, well, we're supposed to get married like on August the 8th, which is a few days, I guess, before his birthday. And he was like, I don't know, I might be in Tokyo when that happened. Like, and she was like, Tokyo? And he was like, yeah, like, and basically just because you get married don't mean I got to rearrange my life. And to be honest, Alexia doesn't need him at her wedding. She really don't. Like, at the end of the day, if Frankie's there, I think that's okay because Frankie is her baby. He's probably going to always have to live with them because of his condition. But I feel like Frankie wants to be there for his mom. Even like, he even was telling her mom she looked pretty when she was getting ready for Larsa's pool party and was like, she ain't need them braids because that's too much. Like, I think Frankie really is ride or die for his mama. Peter, on the other hand, is selfish. And I think that, honestly, if he don't come, he don't come. That's up to him. Really, like, I don't think there should be any need for her to try to force this grown man to come to her wedding. So then we're at Nicole's sushi party. We see everyone's there, even Kiki. Kiki and Marisol talk, and basically they talked because Larsa told Marisol that she has these one-liners that she says, and then they blow up the spot, which sometimes, see in the previous season, Marisol do be doing that, but sometimes she can be cowardice. But she pulled Kiki aside and they had a talk, and Marisol basically was like, I'm sorry if I offended you. I didn't mean it that way. And Kiki was like, no, it's okay. I'm thinking Kiki was supposed to like have like a mojito, the little mojito thing for the like, be a main cast member. But I don't know if she didn't make the cut because she let it be known that she just broke off her engagement before the party and like she was just going through it a little bit. So maybe that's why she took offense to it. And I'm like, girl, why you relay that information? But maybe she trying to make sure she get her spot next season. I think it would be nice. She's really pretty. Like Kiki is pretty for all intents and purposes. Kiki pretty. So they have a talk. Then we get to the nitty gritty about what's going on with Alexia and Peter because they bring up the marriage. They talk to Anthony about marriage. He dodging the question. And I'm just like, okay, Anthony, I don't know, y'all. So y'all, let's get into this. So Alexia is about to cry and the women are like, girl, what happened? So basically, Alexia is telling them about the fight that happened between Peter and Todd. So Peter came over and Peter and Frankie was smoking. They was smoking that Mary Johanna, that Mary Jane. And Peter let Frankie smoke too much, and I guess Todd is not down with that. And Frankie ended up like passing out at the dinner table. Like they were, I guess, outside smoking, but Frankie wasn't paying attention to how much, Peter wasn't paying attention to how much Frankie had smoked. And it caused Frankie's blood pressure to like rise and he passed out. And when that happened, Todd got mad and like I guess he lashed out at Peter and like read Peter his rights and like dug in that behind. And Alexia was like, it was 5 minutes of hell for her because she was like, I didn't know who to support. And she was just like, I was praying that it was over because she was like, Frankie came back. I guess they called the paramedics. They came and they got him back together. But I don't know what's about to happen between Alexia and her situation between her fiance and Peter, because in the trailer they were arguing and Todd told Peter he beat his ass if he ever tried him again. So I don't know. We don't know. We shall see when it comes to Peter and Todd. But I'm interested in seeing what's going to happen. I mean, I do think Peter should have been watching Frankie. Like, bro, your brother has like a disability. You know when somebody hitting the blunt too hard. Like, you could have told your brother to slow down, or you could have took it away from him. And we do know that weed has been known to have properties to help people with like chronic pain or even mental disorders and things like that. So like, it's not a bad thing that he was smoking it, but like, he shouldn't have been smoking that much if it made him pass out like that. But yeah, y'all, that is it. That is all. I don't know when the next episode is supposed to come out. Like, they don't really, like, Peacock ain't gave nobody no schedule. But I'm going to be here for episode 3. Let me know what you thought about episode 2. Drop down in the comments below. And yeah, just talk to your girl. Remember to be bravely authentic. And I'm out, y'all. Deuces.